Happy New Year from the Everyday VOpreneur podcast. I mean, hey, this is our first episode of 2025. Very exciting. So it only seems fitting that we take a minute to say Happy New Year, particularly because the whole entire purpose of this episode is all about New Year's marketing ideas. I want to give you a couple of different strategies that I think that you can deploy if you're looking for some easy ways to bring yourself top of mind and looking for some unique marketing campaigns to help you stand out to get the new year started. I'm going to outline a few of them right here in this episode. But then if you hit the show notes, there's also going to be a link where you can download a PDF that's going to give you even more New Year's marketing ideas. And that's completely free. Again, my way of saying Happy New Year and welcome to 2025. So, right off the bat, it is not too late to send a New Year's email. In fact, the timing now might be perfect to send a New Year's email. I didn't really come back into the office until January 6th, but even still, I'm not actually taking any appointments or any coaching sessions or anything like that until January 13th. So this week that I'm in right now is kind of just me getting back into the routine and starting to figure some things out and not really doing a whole lot, getting fully into the swing of things until January 13th. And I think I'm not the only one. And based on some of the autoresponder messages that I'm seeing, I know I'm not the only one. So if you haven't sent out a New Year's message yet, it's definitely not too late because a lot of your leads, your prospects, and your clients probably are just nicely getting back into the office, just nicely sorting through the massive backlog of emails that they had from over the holidays. And so now the timing might actually be perfect. So a quick email to wish your clients a happy new year, definitely not too late. A quick email to say, thank you for the projects that you got to work on with them in 2025 and to let them know that you're looking forward to new projects that you're going to get to work on them with them in 2025. Yes, definitely. Not too late to do that. Something that I would absolutely encourage you to do. And I think it's a really easy place to start. That is a message that you can send out. Well, you could do bulk, right? You could do a group message and send that out to all of your clients at once, or at least you've got a templated format that you can follow where you're going to wish them a happy new year. You're going to thank them for specific projects that you've worked on, but you can really easily go back and just update the individual projects. But the point is, it's not a complicated email to write, which means that it's an email that you can send at scale. And so I would start with all of the clients that you had the opportunity to work with in 2024, and then some sort of happy new year, looking forward to new opportunities in 2025 message to the prospects who you haven't yet had an opportunity to work with, but you're looking forward to getting that first opportunity to do some voiceovers with them. So that's where I would start. But what are some other ideas for things that you can do for unique marketing campaigns to kick off 2025? Well, what about offering a planning call? Now, this is something that you could offer to clients, but I also think this is something that could be offered to prospects. What if you offer to schedule a Zoom with those prospects or clients where you sit down and you're prepared to discuss whatever it is that they want to talk about for upcoming projects in 2025? Maybe you're going to make a plan for projects that are already on the calendar and you're going to figure out what that's going to look like, plan out some session dates. Maybe you're going to have that kind of a conversation with a client. Maybe with a prospect, you could talk about what it would look like to work together in 2025 and what your process looks like and how you offer directed sessions and the different options that you have for directed sessions and how your turnaround time is and how far in advance you would need to be booked and able to be able to accommodate a session or whatever. But offering some sort of a planning call where it's just an opportunity to get on Zoom, see somebody face to face and have a real live human conversation. And it doesn't need to be more than 5, 10, 15 minutes, but it's a really easy way to kick off the new year on the right foot and show people how dedicated, committed, and serious you are to your business and working with them in a professional manner. Now, a lot of people talk about raising rates in January. It's the new year, and so we're kicking off a new rate structure. And if raising your rates is something that you're thinking about doing in 2025, I think there's a couple of things that you could do here, a couple of unique opportunities that present themselves. First and foremost, if you are planning on raising your rates for 2025, what if you reached out to all of your clients that are in your database or in your CRM and you say, I'm going to be raising my rates to 2025, and this is what the new rate structure is going to look like. However, if you would like to lock in a project now, I will allow you to lock in X number of projects. Maybe it's one, maybe it's three, maybe it's five, depending on the client, at the current 2024 rate, and give them the option to secure a better deal for themselves, which gets projects on your books for 2025 already. That's a positive. It extends a little bit of goodwill by giving them the option to book in at a lower rate, but it is also letting them know that the rates are going to be going up at the same time. And so rather than just coming out of the gate and saying, my rates are going up, by giving them the option to book in at a little bit lower rate, it's like you're giving them a little bit of a gift, which kind of eases them into the idea of a rate increase. And so I think that that is definitely something that you should be thinking about if you are planning on raising your rates. So either you're going to let your clients know that that rate increase is happening, or you're going to let them know and give them the option to lock in at a lower rate for one of their projects or maybe a couple of their projects for the new year. Something else that I think is important, I'm a big fan of testimonials. I talk about testimonials all the time. I think that testimonials are incredible social proof. It's the equivalent of the Amazon review. Before I buy anything on Amazon, I check the star rating and I check some of the reviews to see what's going on. I want to know, is this thing legit? Is it good? Does it do what it says that it will do? Whatever. That's what your testimonials provide. It's one thing for you to say, I'm a professional voice actor. I've got a professional home studio. I can deliver great audio. I can offer quick turnaround. I'm really easy to work with. All those sorts of things that we say in our marketing emails. But it's something totally different when somebody else says all of those same things and backs it up. That third-party validation is what a testimonial gives you. So if it's been a while since you updated the testimonials on your website, maybe it's time to get a refresh. Maybe it's time to look through who were my top 10 clients from 2025. And that could be top 10 as in who are the top 10 favorite people that I worked with. It could be top 10 as in who are the top 10 people that I worked with most. It could be top 10 as in who are my top 10 paying clients in 2025. Doesn't really matter. But the point is, you're going to reach out to these people and you're going to ask them if they would be willing to provide you with a testimonial. Even if only half of them did, that still gives you 5 fresh new testimonials. Those testimonials can be easily put up on your website, but each one of those testimonials could also become unique social media content that you can use over the next couple of months as well. Turn it into a graphic that you can share on your Instagram feed, use it as a quote that you could share on X. It could be a combination of a quote and a story, or a graphic and a story that you could post on LinkedIn, but it becomes social media content that you can share as well. So make a point of reaching out and asking for those testimonials from some of the clients that you worked with in 2024, so that you can refresh your testimonials for 2025. Speaking of social media, another idea is to create a best of social media campaign. Every job that you worked on last year is validation. Every single one of those credits is confirmation that you can do what you say you do, that you are as good as you want people to believe that you are, that you have the reputation that you are trying to promote through your marketing. Every one of those credits gives legitimacy to you as a voice actor. And so if you worked on some really cool projects in 2024, then you should be talking about those. And maybe you've already shared them in the past, but that doesn't matter. Remember, not everybody that you are connected with on social media sees every single one of your social media posts. And we've got short memories because we are inundated with social media. And so there's no reason why you can't revisit some of those. And so putting together a top 5 or a top 10, or maybe you're newer and you've only got a top 3, doesn't matter. Each one of those projects that you worked on gives you something that you can talk about, something that you can celebrate, and it gives you content that you can use for social media. So think about how you can put together a best of and create an entire social media campaign out of it. Something I want to point out here too is when you're working on these social media campaigns, it's really easy to create one graphic or to write one post and then blitz it across all the different social media channels. And I don't think that's the right way to do it. I think if you're going to do something like this, you format it for the respective platforms. So write a post specifically for LinkedIn that's formatted specifically for LinkedIn and that's targeted specifically to a LinkedIn audience. How you speak on LinkedIn is probably going to look different from how you speak on Instagram. And so there should be two different posts and they should have two different formats. Maybe on Instagram, you're going to record a reel and you're going to include part of the spot in the reel. But maybe on LinkedIn, you're going to write a story that talks about how that opportunity came to be or what that experience was like working with that client. Or maybe you're going to include a testimonial from that client and then share the project. But the idea is to take the theme of the best of, grab each one of those projects, and don't just make one post and blitz it all out. You could create a dozen different types of posts from just 3 or 4 projects simply by formatting them in different ways and targeting them to different audiences on the different social media platforms. So be really strategic in how you're doing this. One of the themes of the new year is a fresh start. And we all go there every January. We start over with a clean slate. We start over with a fresh start. We're starting a new chapter in the story. There's so many cliches that are out there, but we're all it's how we work. It's how our brains work. And I'm no different. I start over 2025. I started over with a clean slate. While we are in that mindset of fresh starts, clean slates, new approaches, new strategies, new goals, etc. What if you send out an email to clients that you've worked with on the past and talk about the idea of a fresh start for their commercial, a fresh start for their corporate video that you've narrated for them? Maybe it's time for a fresh start on their telephony system. Maybe you've got on-hold messages that you've recorded or voicemail greetings that you've recorded, and pitch them the idea of, hey, it's a new year and maybe it is time to make everything fresh again. Maybe it's something that they haven't thought about. Doesn't mean that they're going to do it, but at least now you've planted the seed. You've given them the idea of, you know what, maybe we should refresh that voicemail, or maybe we should refresh that campaign, or you know what, that video has been sitting up on our website for about a year, and maybe it is time to make a new version of it. So give them the idea of a fresh start and just playing off of the theme of the new year and the refresh that everybody is thinking about in January when we're all recommitting to all of our fitness goals and our marketing goals and, all of those goals that we set in 2024 that only lasted until February. But now we're giving ourselves a fresh start. And so I think that that's something you can think of too. So there's a couple of different really simple ways that you can launch some marketing campaigns to kick off 2025, playing on the theme of the new year, staying relevant, but still each one of these different campaigns, each one of these different ideas adds value in some way. There's value in refreshing that telephony system. There's certainly value for clients in giving them the opportunity to lock in at old rates before you update to new rates. There's value for clients who you worked on campaigns with to share their content and talk about those campaigns. Obviously, that's an added value for them, but there's also value for you because you're showing people what you're capable of and giving them an opportunity to see how you could do the same thing for them. And there's certainly value in a testimonial campaign and getting new testimonials and collecting those, posting them on your website, posting them to social media, again, demonstrating social proof. And so all of these things are really easy ideas for kicking off the new year with some fun and unique marketing campaigns. And again, if you're looking for a few more of those, I've put together an entire PDF that I'm happy to provide to you. All you have to do is look in the show notes. There's a link in the show notes, and that doesn't matter whether you are listening to this on Apple Podcasts or listening on Spotify, or if you are watching on YouTube, just check the show notes. There's a link. You can download the free PDF, and that's going to give you a few more of these New Year's marketing ideas that you're going to be able to use to kick off 2025 on the right foot.